It has been said that adventure is the respectful pursuit of trouble, and that one day when you least expect it, great adventure will find you. That's exactly how I felt when Honda reached out to us about joining them on their True Adventure tour. I knew that even while I was considering it, that this was clearly one of life's greatest adventures knocking on my doorstep, and I had to take the chance. Hey internet, it's your boy Patty Rick for the Chaseontwowheels channel, and I just got back from what can only be described as a true adventure. This particular journey flew me 2,600 miles away from Atlanta, Georgia to Seattle, Washington for a 4-day, 820-mile motorcycle adventure through the mixed conditions of the Pacific Northwest from Seattle, Washington all the way down to Eureka, California. And as it goes with any adventure, no matter how much you plan, how much you prep, how much you think you are ready, the universe and life is always going to throw wrenches into the mix, make things a little more complicated than you thought. From torrential downpours to treacherously slippery, muddy trails to some of the most beautiful and incredible views and breathtaking places I've been in my entire life, this adventure truly had it all. Now, before I get too far ahead of myself with talking about the end of this trip, I think we ought to go back to the very beginning. So we are starting off in Seattle, Washington this morning. We're going to end in Sisters, Oregon tonight. But the big thing here is that we are traveling nearly 900 miles over the next 4 days from Seattle, Washington, all the way down to Eureka, California. So I've got to go get ready. There's breakfast on the table downstairs. Got to get loaded up on the bikes, and I'll see you guys here in a little bit. On the first day of our adventure, we left a very cold and rainy Seattle, Washington to head south towards northern Oregon, specifically to the small town of Sisters, Oregon. We set up from the hotel on day one with a whole lot of excitement and a little bit of nerves for the unknown of the days ahead. As we moved south out of Seattle towards northern Oregon, the weather went from bad to worse, from a slight chill and a little bit of rain to a torrential downpour and near freezing temperatures. As we began to knock off mile after mile, we found some respite from the weather in a sleepy little town of Morton, Washington. They have this cute little downtown coffee shop. We stopped there, sat by the fireplace, and tried to dry off all of our gear. Alrighty guys, post-caffeine update. I'm in the back of this adorable little coffee shop in Morton, Washington. So if you guys are ever in Morton, there is just like on the downtown, I think it's the only little coffee shop in the downtown area, and it is just super cute. They've got this great little library and a little reading room you can hang out in. And so far so good. Again, a little soggy, but all my gear, the Sedici Garda H2O gear is holding up, staying waterproof without issue. Ruach helmet is doing a pretty good job. My pin lock is fogging up a little bit, but my pin lock is really, really old, so that's pretty on brand. And I am running the Helite airbag backpack, so that video may or may not be out yet, but if it isn't, I will talk about this trip in that video. But as we were leaving, of course, the skies opened up yet again, drenching us to our course. Unfortunately, my little waterproof gloves I had with me on this trek turned out to not be so waterproof and were quickly saturated by the onslaught of rain. As the day went on, we had a couple moments of relief from the just non-stop rain, and I tried to thaw out my hands as best I could, but those wet, cold gloves were just not helping. But that's kind of the whole point of adventure. As we moved through the day, more and more rain, more and more tough weather, that's all okay. We were in great spirits. Adventure is a challenge. That's kind of half the point of it. And a little bit of rain's not gonna hurt me. I'm not the Wicked Witch of the West. I'm not gonna melt. It was at our lunch stop on day one that Johnny and Brad from Eagle Rider got together with Amanda and Ben, who have great local knowledge of the Pacific Northwest, and kind of changed our route a little bit, called a bit of an audible, as one would say. The original goal was to go up and over the Cascade Mountains into Sisters, Oregon, but we knew that there was a large amount of snow coming in that evening, and that unfortunately we were gonna have to go over that pass back out of Sisters, Oregon the next morning, and a whole bunch of bikes on a whole bunch of snow is a whole lot of bad idea. So we had elected to move down to Eugene, Oregon for the night, which was originally going to be our destination for day 2. After lunch, we jumped onto the I-5 freeway and ran south as quickly as we could in a safe and controlled manner. We knew that the incoming storm was going to dump a good bit of snow into the area we were currently in, and we needed to get south of it to ensure that we weren't caught up in it. During my ride on the freeway, I knew I had a lot of time to think, and I had a general idea of what the next couple of days were supposed to look like, but with this Audible being thrown in, obviously the routes were going to have to change. So I knew that there was some new exciting features coming to us on day 2. All right, guys, as you can see, I'm in another hotel room, this time in Eugene, Oregon. It's about 6 o'clock almost, about 5:50. So we're here we're at a hotel a little earlier than we thought we were gonna be tonight, which is great. That's gonna give me plenty of time to charge up all the gear, take a nice hot shower. It was a very cold, very rainy day, as you guys saw. So really excited to be in this beautiful little city. So super stoked. Me and the rest of the gang are gonna go walk around here in a little while after everybody gets cleaned up and enjoy the kind of nightlife that Eugene has to offer. And I will update you guys tomorrow morning with the plan and the itinerary. Again, I believe it's gonna be a trip around the Sisters area of Oregon. And then we'll finish up back in these hotel rooms again tonight, which is nice, because that means I get to just leave my stuff here. I don't have to repack like I did this morning. So, should be a great evening. Should be a really great day tomorrow. I will talk to you guys in the morning. In the meantime, it is beautiful and light outside, and I'm gonna go find something to eat. So, yeah. Alrighty, gang, good morning from Eugene, Oregon. Just had breakfast. We are about to head downstairs to jump on the old 2024 Africa Twin for the rest of my day today and the rest of the first half of our trip here through southern Washington and Oregon. We are doing a loop ending back here in Eugene today. Actually, Ben over at Dork in the Road is the one who came up with some good suggestions for today's route. So you guys jump in the description down below, check out his channel. He is also on this trip and is an invaluable resource here in the Pacific Northwest. So all that to say that we should have a really, really good day today. I am well fed, I am caffeinated, and I'm ready for the day. So take you guys along. It looks like the weather's gonna be better, so I've got the mic hooked up to the helmet cam. So we'll see how that goes today, and hopefully I can get you guys some good riding audio while I'm out and about. We started day 2 in the rain, moving west, climbing up into the coastal mountains. We were able to get a couple of photo stops done, thanks to some really great planning by Ben and Brad. One of those stops being in the rainforest of the Pacific Northwest. I know when people typically think of a rainforest, you're talking about the Amazon or parts of the Congo in Africa and things like that, but this is like a deciduous style rainforest here in North America. It is truly beautiful. All right, gang, we are at a waterfall here in this crazy rainforest looking place. Absolutely wild, here with all my new friends, having a great time. It is so cool, so large and powerful. And I don't know if it looks like this all the time or it's just because it's been raining like crazy, but it is definitely super friggin' cool. Should I jump? Yes. Triple dog day. One of Ben's favorite roads was one that weaved up this beautiful mountain pass, and as we got to the top, typically you can see out for miles in every direction. Unfortunately for us, it was pouring rain, super cold, and there was snow all over the ground, so we elected to rather quickly get off this mountaintop and find a fantastic dirt road that took us down the backside of this beautiful mountain. The sun started to peek out towards the end of day 2, and it was a welcome sight. Being able to finally dry off after nearly 400 miles of riding over a 2-day period, always, always, always is a welcome feeling. Not long after our kind of late lunch that day, it was probably about 4 o'clock that the sun was really in full shine. I had my summer gloves on, visor open, really enjoying myself as we made our way back to Eugene, Oregon, and got to get into the hotel fairly early that night, so we had some time to relax before we went out to dinner with the Honda crew. Alrighty, gang, end of day 2. We just got back to the hotel in Eugene, Oregon, yet again. Had a really, really fun route. Not very much highway, which is ideal. Tons of great country back roads. Shot up a couple of mountains. Got to see some really cool places that were quite cold and quite rainy, but very cool nevertheless. Some great, cute little mining towns, a couple of little logging towns, and some agricultural towns as well. By agriculture, I mean like farming, but super cute little towns. Had a great day overall. Very, very tired, About to jump in the shower, get cleaned up, and then head down to the lobby to meet everybody for dinner here in a little while. Overall, day 2, really great. Because of our Audible yesterday, things were definitely different how we thought they were gonna go, but overall, a really good day. Weather is absolutely beautiful right now, just like it was last night when we got here. And I fully expect to see some really good weather the next couple of days. So you guys stick around and let me know what you thought of day 2, any predictions for day 3. I'm predicting a little bit of rain in the morning, but then we'll see how it goes after that. But should be a lot of fun either way. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to dump footage and talk to you soon. Alrighty guys, good morning from Eugene, Oregon, day 2 here, day 3 of our overall trip. I'm exhausted, I'm tired. I just don't think I slept very well. I'm really excited for the rest of the trip. Today's supposed to be some really nice weather, so pretty pumped about that. I'm currently packing up all my stuff because we are out of this hotel today. So we'll throw all of our bags into the support van and get rocking and rolling. I think we're doing about 150 miles today. And then I think a hair over 300 tomorrow. So hopefully today is a fairly easy day. Looks like the weather is hopefully going to hold out. And if it does, then we'll stay dry, which would be refreshing. So about to head downstairs, grab breakfast with the whole crew, come back up here, finish packing. And then we will skedaddle out of town and on towards Coos Bay, Oregon today. So we got on the bikes about 8:30 that morning and immediately headed west towards the coast with the goal of jumping on the 101 and beginning our descent south. As we followed the road west, we quickly moved into some of the most beautiful forests I've ever seen. 100 to 150 tall pine trees, other conifer style trees that were just frankly incredible to see. Cruising along these roads, little bit of rain, nothing too bad. Temperatures in the mid 40s, which were pretty typical of our early mornings there in the Pacific Northwest. We followed this road kind of twisting and winding through logging country until we came across a crew actively logging kind of in the middle of the road. They had cut the right side of the road and were actively cutting the left. They had this large like bucket style thing strung from mountaintop to mountaintop that allowed them to maneuver those giant logs out of the way. Super cool to experience that even for just a moment. And as we followed this road, we started winding up the hills to what is known as Oxbow Peak. From the top of Oxbow Peak, I got some really cool footage and really got to experience what the backcountry of Oregon is really like. It's extremely densely wooded. It is actively being logged in this particular trip, but super remote. I know that we're not too far out of Eugene, which is a major city, but it feels as though you're hundreds of miles away from anything. Guys, we are on top of a mountain pass right now, just past a logging company you guys just saw in the last clip. Unfortunately, my helmet cam died as we started ascending this valley. I don't know how to describe this to you guys, so I guess I'm just gonna have to show you because it is absolutely incredible. Hold on. I don't know our elevation. All I know is it's about 47, 48 degrees up here right now. It is nice and chilly. We've got our support van, a couple of spare bikes. The whole crew is over there. And we are just surrounded in tall conifers, these beautiful trees out here. It is absolutely incredible. This is just legitimately bananas that we are so far out here. Golly. It is beautiful. As we made our way down the backside of Oxbow Peak into some of the densest forests I've ever seen in my life, there's moss growing on the trunks of trees, on limbs, on the forest floor. It is so vibrant, lush, and green. It was truly incredible, and I'm not quite sure if there's another forest like that in North America. As we got down into the valley behind Oxbow Peak, we were cruising next to a beautiful river and got to see some amazing whitewater as well as waterfalls coming off the rock walls to our right. It was not long after the weather moved in that it quickly dissipated. We found ourselves riding along a thinner portion of the Smith River with some beautiful whitewater, some waterfalls, and even some rock waterfalls coming down the right side of the trail. It was truly magical. Not long before we stopped at one of those waterfall spots, I was so graciously attacked by some sort of yellow jacket or wasp of some variety. Now, I am very allergic to bees, so when I popped my visor open and was hit in the face with what I thought was a water droplet, I wasn't really concerned until it started crawling around and stinging me all over my chin. It was quite a nerve-wracking moment for someone with such a severe allergy to bees, but I did catch all of it on camera for your viewing enjoyment. So, check me freaking the hell out. I don't know what just hit me in the... Ow! Dude, I don't know what the is in my helmet right now, dude. Oh, come on, big fat finger gloves. What was that, dude? I'm very allergic to bees. Oh, okay. I crushed it, whatever it is. I don't know what it was. It bit me, whatever the yeah. Woo. Well, if I die, I die. Oh well. Okay, guys, we are at yet another stop. I don't know if you guys can hear me over the sound of this friggin' waterfall, but I'm gonna get us fairly close to it. Not too close, but look at this thing. Talk about whitewater. We continued riding next to the Smith River as it opened up and showed its true magnitude and beauty. Nearly 100 feet wide, next to some of the most beautiful, flowing, fun roads I've ever seen. Clearly older as the center line was sun faded, but the road surface itself was absolutely beautiful and super smooth, nothing like what we have back here in Georgia. As the river began to open up and join with the salty air and salt water of the Oregon coast, we found ourselves at our cute little lunch spot. We enjoyed some fantastic seafood and conversation out on the patio as the sun was finally shining long enough and bright enough to dry out almost all of our gear. The afternoon of day 3, post-lunch, is where this trip really began to show off its wonders. As we moved further west, we were greeted by something I'd never seen before. I don't think I've seen pictures of it, not in a book or on the internet or anything of the like. And it was, of course, the coastal sand dunes. Now, when I think of a sand dune here on the East Coast, they're 10 to 15 feet tall. They're the division between a relatively flat beach and like homes and a hotel or whatever, something like that. These dunes are hundreds of feet tall. They are a couple hundred yards from the actual edge of the ocean, and they are incredible. It is something that truly amazes me, the amount of sand that's there and how long it must have taken for those coastal winds to kind of push the sand up into these dunes. And the weirdest thing about it is the trees and vegetation growing out of what is just pure sand. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in my brain, but it is truly majestic either way. I knew this adventure would take me to parts of the country I'd never seen before and show me some of the most beautiful places in the world, but I was not expecting this. It is truly something you have to go see for yourself. Unfortunately, we're on a tight timeline and did not get the chance to go play in the sand dunes, but on bikes with street tires, it wouldn't have been a wise choice anyway. So we scooted up and away from the coast, jumped on the 101 yet again, and continued south down the coast for some of the most incredible views I've ever seen, on our way all the way to Coos Bay. We arrived in Coos Bay mid-afternoon, which was quite nice to have a short day. We were able to take the bikes kind of individually and go do what we needed to do with them, shoot some little bit of extra content. So thankfully I was able to get the Red Africa Twin away from everybody and out on this really cool little pier. Alrighty gang, end of day 3. We are here in Coos Bay, Oregon, as you can see behind me. Super cute little town just over my shoulder there. And we've got the Coos Bay History Museum right behind me on the other side. So super cute little coastal town. Definitely still a logging town. Definitely a waterway shipment style town. So really, really neat. Great to see all these kind of different parts of the country on this adventure that we're having. So end of day 3, it's about 4 o'clock now. We just got into town, got settled in our hotel room, but the boys at Honda let me go ahead and grab the bike and come out here and shoot some beauty shots with it. So here's some beauty shots of the bike in all of its muddy, dirty glory, because we all know that's what we're here for. The bikes are fantastic. We're here for the adventure. We're here for the bikes. So let me show you guys what this bike looks like after 3 days of probably 80% on-road, 20% off, but it's been an absolute blast. I think it was at this point that the last couple of days began to really set in. Tons and tons of rain, finally some beautiful sunshine, some amazing views and amazing people. But day 4, whoo-hoo, y'all get ready because it is absolutely incredible. Waking up on the final day of this true adventure was both exciting and bittersweet. I knew that at the end of the day, we would be passing the bikes off to the next group who'd be riding the rest of the way to Southern California, but I couldn't help to be just as jovial and excited as I was on the morning of day 1. All right, gang, it's your boy Patty Rick, day 4 of the Honda True Adventure Tour. We are finally about to kick it off. We are here. Whew. Day 4, finally. It's been an absolute awesome trip so far. Cannot wait to see the sights that we get to see today. My voice is a little hoarse. We had a little bit too much fun at dinner last night, but was an absolute good time. So we are getting loaded up on the bikes now and should be ready to rock and roll here shortly. So I will update you guys from the road here in a little bit. And we'll get the last day of one of the best motorcycle trips of my life underway. Today would shape up to be the most mileage we complete on any single day of this adventure, but it also gives me a chance to check off a couple of things off my bucket list that I've really been looking forward to. As we rolled out of Coos Bay, it did not take long for us to reach our first stopping point of the day and our first real look at the rocky, craggy, majestic coast of Southern Oregon. This particular beach is one that one of my favorite movies, The Goonies, has filmed a couple of scenes on and is truly incredible. As I took in the view, the idea and the real meaning behind adventure started to creep into my mind, but it was not till later in the day that it really made its mark on me. As we moved further and further down the coast of Oregon, it seemed around every corner and every bend of the road was another fantastic view or something that ought to be in a painting. It's just truly majestic and awe-inspiring. Every single turn of the road, whether smooth or bumpy, the views to the right side off into the coast were absolutely gorgeous. I think it was these moments that really began to reinforce what this trip meant to me. And then it happened. We crossed our way into California. I was hit with a bolt of energy and a burst of joy as we were finally on the last leg of our trip. And then I saw it, over the horizon, the tops of the most majestic trees in the world. And I knew that the next few hours were going to make the largest impact on me that this entire trip had in store. This was it, the stop along the way I was most excited for, the Redwood National Forest. It is a place that has topped my bucket list for the majority of my life and a location that I never thought I would actually get to see. And there I was, riding an amazing machine with incredible people through a beautiful place. This experience can only be described as epic. It was in this moment as I traversed the forest floor, walking and just taking in everything around me, that the true meaning of adventure hit me. There are many different quotes from many different people about what adventure is, what it means, what it's for, and why you should pursue it. I believe that adventure is for everyone, and for everyone it looks different. For some it is getting over a fear of heights or of spiders, and for some it's trying new and exotic foods like sushi or oysters or clams. For others it is a solo motorcycle camping trip not far from home, and for others it is a road trip across the country. Adventure has no set definition or minimum requirement. A true adventure is what you make it out to be, what you decide it can be and what it will be. No matter how big or small, adventure is always worth it in and of itself. For me, this trip was one of the greatest adventures I've had the amazing privilege to even be a small part of. It has reignited a drive in me to pursue adventures that are meaningful and impactful to me. Not only that, but to document them and bring you guys along for the journey. This has been the trip of a lifetime, and I could not be more thankful for everyone who helped make it happen. Thank you to Honda and their entire team, both in the Alpharetta and the California offices, as well as those from the Japanese office. Thank you to Brad from Eagle Rider for putting the route together and helping us stay safe as a support vehicle. Thank you to Johnny Campbell, the absolute legend, for leading us on this journey and keeping us on track and safe the entire way. Thank you to Lou, who was the rider at the back of our pack, making sure that if anybody fell behind or needed anything, he was there to help as best that he could. Thank you to Amanda, Ben, and Victor for not only being great adventuring partners, but providing fantastic conversation and sharing your knowledge with me over the course of this trip. Thank you to my wife, Paige, for loving and supporting me and allowing me to go on week-long adventures without you and the dog. Thank you for holding down the fort. I love you so much. Thank you to Chase for affording me the time and opportunities to go on trips like these and provide you guys with the best content possible. And most importantly, thank you to you guys. Thank you for watching, subscribing, liking the video, all that fun stuff. It helps us so much. You have no idea. We would not be afforded these opportunities and be able to go on these trips and adventures without your support. For that, I am eternally grateful. Thank you. If you guys enjoyed this video, do hit that like button. If you like motorcycle content, please hit subscribe. Jump down in the comments section below, throw an OC in your comment because you are a part of the outro crew. You finally made it to the very end of the video, and for that, I am thankful. Your outro crew question of the day is, what was your most exciting adventure? And if you've yet to go on one, what's an adventure you want to partake in? Jump down in the comments, let me know. I'll be sure to reply, and maybe we can plan something. Who knows? Thank you for watching. It's been your boy, Patty Rick, for Chase on Two Wheels. Until next time, you guys ride safe.